everybody, and welcome to Survivor with Jamie, Jack, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
I'm David.
Welcome to the... I know. Oh, my God. Jay had band practice, so he missed a lot of the episode, but he came back in time for tribal council, and he looked at David, and he was like, what is that guy like? I was like, he's mad. And he was like, oh, I can tell. Anyway, we are here to talk about Survivor season 48.
Well, didn't he help vote out Cedric?
David?
Yeah.
I think he was in the majority alliance that he helped out vote a lot of people.
Yeah, and Chrissy behind him. I mean, it's just like, why are you mad, dude?
I had to shave off my beard.
Hey, we're talking about an...
There's no milk!
I know, there's no milk at Ponderosa. They're like, there's plenty of vodka. And he's like, but there's no milk.
No milk.
Okay, we're talking about an episode called My Enemies Are Plottin'. And it was based on Star's rap. And I have to say, the rap was pretty spectacular.
She's got talent.
I feel like there's a really odd amount of freestyle rap that's hit Survivor in the last 2 years. Like every season, there's somebody there that's gonna spit some rhymes out, and I'm starting to wonder if it's not like a requirement at this point during casting call. Can you freestyle?
I think Jeff got him going with the whole fried chicken and waffles.
That was a very exciting moment for everybody.
I said, okay, I get it, but it's not Applebee's. I mean, relax. I didn't get I was like, okay, Jeff, they're doing okay, all right.
Do you think that like when he's at home, and he's like making a sandwich for the wife?
Well, I actually
get like super grody, pervy, like when he's like, and I made a sandwich and it has all the fixins. And does she just go like, listen, stop. For the love, just stop.
Look at these little balls I put in it.
Honestly,
what are those things called? Cindy likes them. Those little
capers.
Yeah, I call them snot balls. They look like snot balls.
No, they don't. They're delicious. Capers.
No, they're little.
They're little balls of pickles. They're delicious.
They're balls of snot. I wouldn't even put them on. I can't even look at them.
You saved that description for the Ramblecast, young man. So
here's a caper. She's a caper.
Okay, now I've completely lost my thought. I had a thought. I was trying to get to it, and now you've made me lose
That happens on Survivor. You got to stay focused.
That's what happens.
You answered the question.
You're not
okay, I remember it now. The one thing that I noticed about Jeff this episode is when he was wearing his white jeans, like, he has gotten really skinny. Like, Jeff has also lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's well, I mean,
because the white pants that he looked slim in were baggy on him, and then I noticed his shirt was baggy too, and I was like, oh, Jeff looks like he's on the Ozempic diet.
I was going to say,
there's no milk.
Like an Ozempic diet happening? Like he's just withering away on the island now.
Well, he didn't need to lose weight in the first place, so why would he go on a diet?
No, he's always
yeah. Don't underestimate.
I know it's
Hollywood.
That's true.
Khloe Kardashian is still releasing super photoshopped. Chris says, "Excuse me, it's not Jeff, it's Uncle JP." Uncle JP was great. Like that is a wonderful legacy for Star to leave. Like that was very fun. And Russ says, "Not enough waffles."
Well, what they should have done is she should have been doing that in the beginning, or maybe she was. They just didn't show it. Again, the last 4 weeks, I didn't realize she had a personality.
So we have seen bits and clips of Star's personality over the entire season.
Yeah.
But and we've seen all of that. It's just been a one-off here and there where they're sticking her in.
She gets
I know that's what she said.
That.
But yeah, where has all of that been all season? And that's why when we were trying to figure out who's going to go tonight, is it going to be Mary or Star? I was like, it's got to be Star because we haven't we've seen a lot of Mary's personality. I think she's going to fight to live another day, but we haven't seen a lot of Star. We know what she's like. We know that she's very funny like that, but they haven't shown that to us in the storyteller role. So that was why I guess that Star was going to go.
Saving it for her big rap release. Like, here it is. It's her big moment.
Why vote Star out when Mary was the logical choice?
She was. I thought she was a logical choice.
I'm
too.
like
Mary
going,
was a
what?
better choice for their game. Yeah.
I think that
because Star, you could even see Star when they're doing the challenge. She could give two craps about it.
I know she was like, I dropped at the second one, and I'm done. I'm good.
And she was like, oh, whatever. I'll act like I'm doing it. Da, da, da.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, I mean, she was not a threat to win.
I think what it comes down to is that main alliance is very scared that once they get down to the point final six where they are going to have to turn on each other, they want to have their numbers. And I think that that is what is driving all of this right now. Like Joe realizes that Mary is Joe and Mary kind of like simultaneously realized like what the two of them are doing. Kyle, through Camilla, Kyle realizes what Mary is kind of doing. So I do think that, and I would not be surprised if Shaheen was also in the privy to knowing what was going on. So I would not be surprised if it just came down to bureaucracy and politics. And at the end of the day, Mary was like, I am your vote.
Yeah.
Go for me. There's nothing to lose voting Star out. You're not causing controversy by going with a major alliance member. So, like, go with me. I am on your side. I recognize that.
I'm going to vote I'm going to vote the person that's trying. Opposed to the person that's not trying.
But what if the person that is trying is also the person that is like, I will be on your side no matter what.
Yeah, whatever.
I think that
you need the votes though. Like you're at point now.
You need the votes, but the reason Mitch didn't go with the plan to vote someone else off is because he didn't trust Mary. He's there. He doesn't trust her.
Well, yeah. I think that
because Mitch is on the ground level. Like Mitch is in the trenches. He gets it. The people up top, I think that they are just like, who is going to make the best case to me to stay? And also, it's not like Mary's a challenge threat either. Like Star didn't care, but like also Mary wasn't not in it.
Mary, but Mary's good at talking strategy.
A big part of it though is that Mary, I think in Joe's mind, and the reason why I say this is because Joe had the conversation and called her out on it and said, no, David's gone because you got in his ear. And I think he's using Mary as that replacement number now that David's out. And then also,
interesting,
it was brought up that Star has multiple times mentioned Shaheen's name. So that's going to immediately turn him against keeping Star because his name keeps coming up. So Mary has managed to, and I was a little surprised when Joe called her out. Maybe disappointed is a better word. When Joe called her out, I was more disappointed that she was like, I thought she was like, oh no, I definitely didn't do that. That's not what I was doing. And then we were going to get the confession of like, that's totally what I was doing. Like whispering in David's ear. But
it was obvious what she was doing.
But she seems to think that that's not what she was doing. So I don't know if she's playing coy to the audience.
I think she really knows what she was doing, but she was
playing
coy. Yeah, I think
she's smart. She knows what she was doing.
But
Mary is one of the smartest people out. Mary and Shaheen are very, very intelligent.
I think she's still
socially and emotionally, yeah.
But then you have Star who, okay, one, she's mentioned somebody's name that's in this alliance multiple times. Also, she did give her idol to Eva, but hearing some like post-show interviews, she didn't just hand it over to Eva. She was convinced by other players to do it. Like she was kind of pushed to do it. It wasn't entirely what she wanted to do. So I think that there wasn't as close a tie there.
Who pushed it?
They haven't really said. It was just said that like it was like she was kind of pushed into giving that idol to Eva. Like she didn't entirely come up with that on her own.
She should have kept it.
I agree. I definitely agree. But here she is. And then on top of all of it, the very reason that we're saying she's less of a threat may make her feel like more of a threat in the game, because they can talk to Mary and they think they can go, oh yeah, and she'll go, yep, I'll be your vote. But with Star, they don't know what she's going to do, because she doesn't know what she's going to do. she's just like a roll with it kind of person. So when you're trying to find certainty in a really uncertain position, you're going to get rid of anybody that causes more confusion.
I guess so. I still would have voted her out.
I do not think they made the right choice. All of that being said, Mary's the threat here, but
yeah, I agree. Mary is a threat. From what we've seen, Mary is the threat, and I do think it was a mistake to not take a shot at her as we can, because I can easily see Mary slipping into the top 5, if not further.
Because if they thought that she was the one pushing David's buttons, why not just vote out Mary?
I mean, that's the thing. But I think Joe is kind of worked it in a way where it's like, now I'm going to say, I know what you were doing, but also I know what you were doing, but I'm going to forgive you enough to keep you here. And that's going to somehow maybe get him some loyalty for another vote or two. Because like you said, we're getting to the part where the group has to turn on itself, which it always does in these big alliances. But this group itself, because it keeps coming up in the edit of their story, it's all about that integrity and that loyalty towards each other. Like, this jury isn't going for wins. It's going for like the emotional value of integrity and loyalty. Well, now they're going to have to face their demons, because this goes against everything they've used to defend their alliance up until that point. So they are going to have to pull in other numbers.
When Kyle won the reward, I said, God, why are you taking the people that, but then when he explained why he did it, I said, yeah, that is really smart. He was hoping that Camilla could get Joe off, voted out, so he wouldn't have to do it. Because he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
I agree. Because what did he say? Like, I'm going to let her shoot her shot, and if she misses, then whatever. I agree.
But he took Mitch to get.
Kyle is smart enough to know that he cannot go with Joe, and like Joe has to go, but he can't have the blood on his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, I'm saying, I'm saying, God, why would you take Mitch? You're. But then he said, yeah, I'm trying to do that because I want Mitch to be mad. I said,
it doesn't take much. It turns out Mitch is really easy to get like into spicy salt land when he hasn't had food.
Yes. He gets hangry.
He's been nothing but hangry for days and days and days. Yeah. He's still good at storytelling, apparently. Yeah. He's funny, but it seems like every time we see him, he's like, he's so mad.
Did you guys think that the way that Kyle handled, and Jeff definitely 100,000% threw him a softball when he was like, pick your second person, but give me your explanation why. What is your why? And it was like Camilla, because she's hungry. And he totally got off the hook for having to be like Camilla, because she's my real number one.
Because we are best friends. Yeah.
Well, I think it's reasonable. You say, well, she hasn't eaten a lot. She's been kind of wacky. You know, I mean, it's a smart answer.
Who do you think that they were kind of hoping he was going to pick? Do you think that they were hoping he was going to say Camilla, or did they have something else in their mind? Because it almost felt like a setup.
I think they probably.
What do you mean?
Like when they said, okay, you get to pick somebody else, but now like you got to tell us, like, what's your thought? Why are you picking this person? Did they know he was going to pick Camilla, or were they hoping he was going to pick somebody else? Like it almost felt like it was that production had something in their minds. You know what I mean? Or that Jeff at least thought this is who he's going to pick. You know, do you think that they were thinking Camilla, or do you think they were hoping for someone else?
I think that they were hoping for drama.
Yeah,
whether that meant definitely were somebody else.
We need to know all of your thoughts and feelings of why you picked this.
Because there's no wrong answer when it comes to people being pissed off at not being picked. So,
see, what I would do is I would pick. All right, who finished in second? who finished in third, who finished in fourth. That's how I would do it.
I kind of agree. Like that's the most diplomatic, bureaucratic way of doing things, right?
I'm just going to pick who finished second, who finished third, who finished fourth. Sorry. Because even Joe looked mad when Eva got picked. Wow.
I think he did too, because he was like, wait a second. Like, I am Eva's handler. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe is getting like a little bit of like some salt in his edit the last
I will say that,
too.
Joe has absolutely had like Edgic wise, and I haven't been following the forums at all for years, but like if I was going to give an opinion, he has gotten a mixed to positive edit every episode, right? Like, we get the positive, but we also get like just these things that are kind of thrown in where it's like, oh, I'm just as pissy as everybody else.
I think it just shows you when you're hungry and tired.
You can't hide.
You can't, and when you have cameras on you 24 hours a day, you can't hide it. I mean, it's not your normal personality, but if you're not sleeping and you're hungry,
the worst parts of that personality are coming to dinner.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. And your initial reactions, I want to have fried chicken and waffles. I sang for 20 minutes about that stupid song, and now I'm not getting fried chicken and waffles.
Chicken.
But I mean, at least to Joe's credit, he did say, you know, like, I was like, I did have feelings about that, and I just kept telling myself to shut up. But I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm disappointed. I'm a little bit mad.
Because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Burns a lot of calories.
Yeah.
And lots of calories. And it's just, you know, if you're, again, that's the hardest thing about Survivor is and even though they've made it shorter, you know, it used to be worse when it was 38 days. You know,
I missed the 39-day season. I do.
39 days.
I always miss it.
Yeah,
but nobody gave in for the rice. I was like,
that's and what last season, right? They didn't do it last.
That was when Rachel tried to steal the rice.
Right.
Yeah, you put it in her pockets. Sorry, she should have been allowed.
Which should have been allowed. It's Survivor.
She should have agreed. She should have been allowed, like 100%.
Just for pure audacity alone, you get to keep the rice. Yeah. So there was no one volunteering for the rice, just the chicken dance. I don't know. The waffle and chicken did look pretty good though. I will give them credit. It's been a hot minute since their food actually looked good. This one did.
It's not a sandwich. It's been sitting in the sun for 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, all the flies were hanging out during that challenge. They weren't on the sandwiches this time.
I mean, I said, what is this CGI? What are we doing here? I mean, is this AI? What's going on with these flies? I mean, it's
crazy.
Is the fly going to trip Joe up?
So Zach, yes, exactly. Zachary and I were deadly convinced. We were like, oh my God, even though we've got 30 seconds left before we have to go to a commercial break at this point, the flies and because they've talked about the flies and the heat and the this and the that, and all of it was building up to just affect Joe. And we were like, oh my God, is this going to be it? Joe's going to, just as he picks his second foot up to step on the counter, a bee is going to sting him. A bee was going to sting him at one point.
I was waiting.
Stung by a bee and it just drop everything, and we're going to get the Kyle triumphant. It was crazy.
I was waiting for Joe to eat a fly, saying, I don't need no chicken and waffles.
I got my fly.
Well, he kept kissing the block. I said, okay, Joe, that didn't work the first time, Joe. Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
Chris started laughing when we got the slow motion fly, and he's like, nature's gonna win. But
it looked like he was gonna get stung by a bee at one point. As somebody who is allergic to yellow jacket stings, I was kind of scared for him.
What frustrated me was Kyle kept the same strategy the whole time. If he just would have, once he got the lead, slow down. He kept it. I mean, he would build up fast, but
every single time with these games, you need to be the person that's going 5 times slower than everyone else.
Shaheem had the right idea. He just, unfortunately, because it's also a learning curve, and he got to that learning curve when he had to put the eye on immunity. That was a shame, because I was really pulling for Shaheem because I respected how he was slow and steady with it.
Yeah.
I do like when Jeff said believe me, he is moving.
Yeah, I know that was really funny too.
That was funny. I go, Jeff told a funny.
I was like watching that competition. I was convinced. I had in my head convinced that if Shaheen did not win immunity, that the votes were going to be like, and Joe won it. It was all those votes were going to go towards him because his name's been mentioned so many times in the revolutionaries, keep bringing him up too. I'm like, no, we can't do it. But
I think Mitch needed to take a swing for it. I think he
chickened out. I listen, I love Mitch. I really do like him. But as far as like making moves in this game, he has been terrible because he's always written down the wrong person pretty much every time. And here it was presented, and he even told us, I need to make a move. If I'm going to do this, this is my chance. And then he went,
I know I'm on the bottom.
Just kidding. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know I'm on the bottom. Because at this point, this was the time. This was the week to do it.
Yep.
To take one of those, you had to take one of those big players out, break up their alliance.
He's done now. Like as much as he is loved socially, I can't imagine he's going to go on some immunity streak that's going to earn him into final 3 where he can battle against somebody like Joe. Like I just don't.
And they won't. And nobody's going to take him to final 3.
No.
Mm-mm. And they're not going to take a chance on him making fire either. So.
Yeah, I was really disappointed in Mitch.
Mitch might be the guy to go home next week.
Yeah,
yes. Which let's take a commercial break. We come back. We can talk about who we think is going to go home next week.
All right,
here we go. Beep beep beep.
Yeah, I hear it
now.
Yeah, just going to be a part of my DNA. I don't know what to do. Just part of who I am now.
All right. Yes. So let's talk about we've talked about a little bit why Star was probably not the right person to go home, but I think we're all in agreement that the edit probably, called for Star, but opinion wise, it probably should have been Mary.
Yeah. Yes. It should have been Mary. I'm really glad it wasn't because she's in my final 3 and that's all that matters.
All right.
I got to get my point.
Well, okay. If you're the top 2 people, who do you want as the third at this point?
Wait, who are you talking about? Like Mary?
So if you always have the GOAT, someone that doesn't get any votes. I could see Mary getting some votes.
I can too, because she was scrappy and she fought.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, Star would have been that person, but they tossed.
Yeah. I mean, I right now I don't really think you have a true GOAT.
That's exciting.
Star's gone. Maybe the third person gets, maybe for the first time, and I don't know how long, the third person they even ask some questions.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
I would say, okay, looking at the list, here is who is left: Mary, Camilla, Joe, Mitch, Kyle, Eva, and Shaheen. Honestly, I don't know how they don't cut Camilla at some point, and I know that most of them just see her as a number, but like there's also like this suspicion, like Mary knows what's what, and I do think that like Shaheen, when pressed, like to look inside his heart, will know what's what. And I think Kyle at some point is getting to the point where he's going to have to make a really hard choice. Like, is it going to be Mary or is it going to be like Joe? And
he better make the right decision. Listen. If that man decides to pick Joe, who clearly has Eva as his number 1, if he picks Joe over someone who is
actively acting as number 1,
one will be so disgusted with him. I will just emotionally throw him off my top 3 list anyway.
Okay.
And because Kamala's not even in my top 3, but I feel that deeply of like how angry I would be if he
I think Camilla is okay. I think Camilla is playing a great game.
I agree very much.
She's still there.
Yeah.
Like, she's still there. She knows where she is. She knows what she has to say to get further. And I think that being able to adapt like that is not no small, like, whatever. Like,
Well,
that,
again, you have 7 players left, and they're all could make a case for winning the game.
yes.
I mean, they're all pretty smart players. I mean, it's just like they're playing a smart game. Whereas you don't usually have you always have that tag along person, the hanger oner.
Sure. The easy,
and
the easy
that was
bring. Yep.
that was Star, and now Star is gone.
Yeah. And I wonder if Star was actually playing a different game, but we just didn't see it because everybody else that made it further than her are playing.
I mean, maybe Mitch,
well.
Mitch is probably the worst player left because he doesn't make any moves. And he's always on the wrong, like you said, he's always on the wrong side of the vote. So again, today was the day to make a move, and he didn't do it. So
he missed it.
I agree. I think that Mitch knows that he has to whatever, but I think he's one of those people that is just too nice to do that.
I'm thinking that
I'm not saying that means he should win or lose. I'm just saying that, like,
right, he's not gonna be able to.
He's too nice. He's one of those people that are just too nice to do what they have to do.
I think that where there's a possibility of some sort of break where we can actually see Camilla and Mary keep going a little bit further, it's gonna really rely, and I think Camilla has already set this up and it's so low. That's what I love about her game, is that we keep getting little peeks of it because of her relationship with Kyle, but really she's playing, it's really low key, but she has been making a lot of moves to set things up down the road. And right now she has a relationship with Shaheen. She has a relationship with Kyle. What she really needs is the 3 of them to stick together and pull in Mary. They don't need Mitch because Mitch is unpredictable. You can't trust what he's going to do. But if they can pull in Mary and know that we have to get rid of Joe, if Kyle can stand by I'm not going to pull the trigger, but there's just got to be some line in the sand for Kyle. But if those 4 can stick together, they can remove Joe. Eva might be a problem because her bags are packed with advantages and idols at this point. But if they can get Joe out, I could see the new lead alliance being those 4 plus maybe Mitch.
Yeah.
But it really, really depends on Kyle. It's not Camilla anymore, because I think Shaheen would go with Camilla and Kyle if they said, "Hey, dude, come here." He'd go, "Okay, I've been waiting."
It would be kind of cool if it was a Camilla, Shaheen, Kyle alliance like that went, because they're all so different, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I would love a good job. He's done a good job of bringing Camilla onto his side too. He's I think he's like 3-4 steps ahead.
Even though she has actively been campaigning like against Shaheen, like him, he's still like, no. She's lower than I am in this totem pole, and I am going to bring her along. And I agree. Like, I think that he has done a good job of just like forging ahead and being like,
and he'll be the first one. I think he's the first one that will go after Joe.
I think he's already.
I agree.
I think he's just waiting. That's why I said, as long as if Kyle can make the call, the whole thing lies on Kyle. Is he pick Joe or does he pick to stay with Camilla? Because if Kyle even raises an eyebrow like he might be interested in the idea of cutting Joe, Shaheen's going to be 100% in. There's no way he's not going to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's best for Kyle's game, anybody's game, to be like, okay, I am willing to get rid of Joe, because if you don't at this point, like even with our edit that Joe is an amazing person, like you are on the beach and you have all these people recognizing that he's an amazing person. Like if you don't
saw the Joe edit,
Kyle said he's an amazing person.
I know. So, but like, if you don't understand that you are playing a freaking game to win $1 million, like, sometimes the amazing person has to get cut at final 6. Like, I don't know.
I think Kyle's played a really good game too, and I don't think he can beat Joe.
Yes, and I honestly, I feel bad because we have seen so much from Kyle. Like, we have seen more of Kyle's game than we've seen of Joe's game, than of Eva's game, like even of Shaheen's game. And we've seen a lot of Shaheen and Kyle's game too, but like right now we have seen the most of Kyle's game. Like, I'm sorry, Camilla and Shaheen's games. We've seen the most of Kyle's game. Like, it's basically, we are seeing how like Joe and Eva run the show because they are the strongest, athletic threats. But like the people that are controlling it behind the scenes are Kyle first and foremost, Camilla as his number 2, and then like Shaheen as a smart person as well. So I feel like it'd be wild for them though, because Joe and Eva are getting all the credit, like to not take Joe out. Like that is crazy. Shoot your freaking shot when you have it.
Yep. Yeah. And it's interesting because in another season, that like in the last 10 seasons, the way they've been cast, Joe would have been gone in the second, third week, easy.
Oh yeah, easily.
But he's had such a nice little layer around him, and then on top of it, he's got this nice personality and he can win immunities. And he's been able to kind of keep himself in there. But I don't know. I'm with you. If he doesn't win immunity and they keep him around, it's like, well, it's your game to lose at this point. Because
I think what Mitch and Camilla and Mary and Star should have done is gone after Eva.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like
Eva. They know she has. They don't know about the other thing, but they know she has
an idol at least.
And
so
if you cut her, that weakens.
They
Joe.
haven't even, and it's amazing because they haven't.
I totally agree.
Toyed with the idea of splitting votes just to flush an idol. They haven't even done that with them, and it's like, what are you doing, guys?
They're so afraid. They're so afraid of this alliance. And the alliance showed last week that they would vote one of their own out. They voted David out.
There's cracks in it. There's cracks in every alliance.
So
as we saw, David looked mega pissed.
Yeah, he looked, and he's gonna. And okay, you have a bitter jury right now. You're gonna have, and you have Cedric on there who really never knew how to vote, right?
Nope.
So, and you got Chrissy who is probably pissy. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I just think
to vote for anybody that's not one of the the guys that she was particularly calling out all the time is not who she wants to vote for.
No. She'll vote for a Mary, Mitch, Camilla.
That's what I think.
So it's again, we'll see what happens, but I don't know.
I will say this though, after Joe's conversation with Mary, if Mary doesn't use. If Mary's not if she's sitting at the final 3 and she has to say her piece for her game, she's got to bring up that conversation with Joe, and she's got to play it like Joe's the only one that caught on that. Like I was manipulating David and I was the one pulling all the strings in that alliance, without even being in it.
I knew I was on the bottom and I had to get rid of David.
Yeah, if whether she was intentionally doing that or not, and Joe made an assumption, she needs to act like that is #facts at this point and run with that.
And the crazy thing is that David was right. Kyle and Camilla are working together. He's gonna go. I'm sure he's watched this going. I have every right to be angry. I was right. I'm right.
He was. Poor David. Oh, poor angry David. He's very mad.
David did give an interview saying that, yes, his girlfriend did dump him, but he has since met.
Did she?
She did when he returned home and said he didn't win. But he has since started dating someone new, and she is apparently even better. So
that's what I said. I said getting voted out's the best thing that could happen to you, David. Your girlfriend was not top notch.
Yeah, she didn't.
You're a nice looking young man. Go get yourself a real.
She was not a keeper.
Yeah.
He's dating someone named Winnebago now. I don't know.
You mean Winnie _ Bago?
Winnie Bago.
Oh, Winnie.
All right, let's get into the feedback here. We got an email from Mandy.
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 And Mandy says, which fly did it better, Joe or Pence's? Well, that is a deep cut from 4.5 years ago.
Yes.
I would still say that the Mike Pence fly did it better because that was a meme, and Jost.
It was
and
a
Pence,
meme that never stopped. Yeah.
There was a
Well,
meme that didn't stop, and Pence lost the debate because the public reception of the fly, and Joe still went out and won the immunity.
But that fly didn't move. That was a that was a drone fly. I think. Come on. That fly did not move.
Okay, my theory and that, no, like for real, my theory for that is he had so much hairspray in his hair that the fly landed like over there.
And got stuck.
And it just got stuck. That's my theory. Yeah.
Now there's sound effects and it's funny all over again.
No, but seriously, I think the fly was like encompassed by the hairspray, whether it was the smell that like that is
I think that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Mom, what happened to Dad?
Well, there was a bottle of hairspray.
He's part of the vice presidency now.
Yes.
But that's always in my theory is that it was an unfortunate hairspray event.
So on the fly's family, there's a picture of that, of him sitting on Pence's head.
Yeah, dead by hairspray.
Remember when we lost Dad? Yeah, that damn Mike Pence.
R.I.P. Fly.
And then they mutated to learn like not to go to hairspray. Like they were like, this smell will not detract us.
No hairspray for the next debate.
Still like love the citronella, but
he could have had moose, man.
I know. Right? All right. Continuing.
That's why you want to have a bald politician, right? Because the fly would just jump on and go, okay, nothing here. And
right.
Fly, no problem.
If the fly stays on, then like it's a whole other issue.
Rest in peace, fly.
Oh, Pence fly.
Oh, rest in Pence fly.
If this was a show that we didn't name after the episode title, I would absolutely say we need to call this episode "Rest in Pence Fly."
That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one. And I normally don't like anything Brian says, but I gotta laugh at that.
I love everything that Brian says. All right,
everything.
Mandy. Yes, I do. And Mandy continues. In a work meeting today, I was introduced as the biggest Survivor fan. I had to make it clear that we don't lead with that because people think it's weird and far from the biggest.
That's your claim to fame? Okay.
Don't lead with that.
Like at least
Can we go back to the fly because I don't want
to bury that lead. But also when asked who's going home, I said Joe if he doesn't win immunity, or if he does, then Star or Mitch are the targets. When your brain can't operate, your gut will never fail you. Someone should cross stitch that on a pillow. I love Star.
That was a good one. I wrote her quote down too. I was like, that is really good, actually. I think I have like 4 or 5 Star quotes in this notebook of mine for this season. She has been really great for those.
I think she's given a lot of that, but because she doesn't go further, and she was a nemesis of Eva, who we are clearly seeing as a hero, I think that's why we just haven't seen a lot of Star. Yeah. She just didn't fit the overall story.
She would be better on some other kind of reality show. Because her strategy wasn't
pretty much any. She's fun. She's just fun to watch.
She's fun TV.
Yeah. She has personality, as Aunt Tammy says in the chat.
Yes.
Well, how would Aunt Tammy know?
She watches the show?
No, anything about having a personality.
Oh, boo!
Don't lead with that either.
Is that an Aunt Tammy joke or is that an Uncle Jerry joke?
That's an Aunt Tammy joke. You brought up Uncle Jerry. I'm saying it about Tammy. I have to see her tomorrow, so I gotta be nice.
She might not be over it.
Wait, what's tomorrow?
We're going in. We're meeting him in Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're meeting them in Pittsburgh? That's fantastic! I didn't know you were meeting them.
Yeah.
Also,
yes.
you guys, You guys missed the mark when you told me in Tokyo that the Padres weren't playing at Comic-Con. Just like 2 years ago, they are actually playing on Monday night. So we can all leave on Tuesday morning and watch the Padres play on Monday night after Comic-Con.
I didn't say anything about them. I didn't know. Wasn't me.
Okay, well, somebody's birthday is tomorrow, and I don't want to throw them under the bus.
Oh, so Cindy
said, "Oh, the Padres aren't playing, so we're not going to go." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was looking at Padres stuff to see if there was any games that we could attend in general, like my family. And I, started in July because we are actually going to be seeing them on Monday, May 5th at the Yankees, because my niece is having her first Holy Communion on Sunday in New York, and just so happens.
Bring the picture.
Wait, which picture? Which picture? Which picture?
The one you showed us.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will.
The drawing.
The drawing.
Maybe I will. I will bring the drawing to the first Holy Communion and be like, "This is your God now." Anyway, that is on Sunday. We're going to stay till Monday because we're going to go to the Yankees-Padres game, and then we will return home early on Tuesday, like very early, so everybody go back to school. Yay. Anyway, Padres. I'm sorry, Mandy. I don't even know how we got onto this topic with you, but yes. So
I blame
story
Mandy.
short, and Tammy, this will save me a text. On Monday, I think it's like July 28th or whatever. Like, there's a Padre game, and we should all go.
July 28th. When is Comic-Con?
It's late this year. It's as late as last year. It's like the 24th to the 27th or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's probably the new schedule going forward. It's just, it's not going to be late anymore. This is just the new time.
No, it used to be late like 10 or 15 years ago. And then it moved back up. It just like depends on whatever. And I'm guessing it's just because of the way the weekends fall. And then once the weekends like switch, it'll go back to being whatever. But anyway, okay, cool. Okay, so Mandy says these things, and the fly did it better, and your brain can't operate when your gut will never fail you. And as such, I feel like maybe we should talk about who is going to go home next week. So I will save you all the, let me share my screen here, but I'll save you all the, what's it called? Anticipation. And let you know that every single person here had Star as pre-merge.
We sure did.
We
sure did. So
it sure looked like we're going to be right in the beginning.
Yeah. 0 points. 0 points for all of us.
That's what we get.
Everybody's winner's pick is still in play. In play. All right. So who do we think is going home next week?
So now we've got points this week. Who do I have going home?
Kyle, Mitch, Kyle.
Kyle, Mitch,
you were Mitch.
Kyle, Mitch, Kyle.
I'm going to go Michigan.
You're going to go Michigan? Okay.
Michigan.
I'm going to go Kyle again.
All right.
I think Kyle's days are numbered, to be honest.
He's pressing in. The walls are pressing in. I'll go with Joe again. Even though he pretty much has a winner edit at this point, I'm going to go with Joe.
Okay, not again. You've literally never picked Joe.
Oh, I thought I had him like 2 weeks ago.
You sure did not.
Okay.
You all had David 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was David. Yeah. David.
All right, so Jamie is Joe, Jack is Mitch, I have Kyle. Which I have trepidations about, but I do feel like Jack, I feel like you might be right on the Mitch front. Can I change it? I'm going to change to Mitch.
You can do what you want. You have control of the Google app.
Okay, but I am going to note that had Kyle first. So if Kyle goes home, if Kyle goes home, you can all tell me that I'm an idiot and I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I would not tell you that you're an idiot. I will just congratulate myself for not being even further points behind.
The only way Kyle goes home if Camilla turns on him. Right.
I think Camilla will turn on him.
I think if either one of them are going to turn, 100%. I feel like she'd turn first.
Yeah, Camilla is smart, and Camilla is playing to win, and she knows right now
she's
who
not
she
there to
needs
share
stay
stories.
around.
She's not there
Yeah.
to share stories of her traumatic youth. She's there to win money and leave. She's done.
Exactly. Like
I had a good
truly-
upbringing.
Truly, though, I think Camilla will cut anybody that's in her way. But I do think that, yeah. All right, Kyle, let's go. All right, everybody. On that note, thank you for playing. Aunt Tammy, thank you for the Padre tickets that you're going to look into.
Thanks for that.
You're the best. You're better than your brother. And I just spent a whole ass 10 freaking days with him.
You were lucky.
I was super. Was I?
Hey, I got you your coffee.
That's true. You also told me that you were gonna set up a trailer on my property when live here one day. I was like,
Well, I didn't get the that was
He's
a
waiting
trial.
for his second set of nipples to get in before he gets the
that was a trial balloon, like
Yeah.
like politicians always do that. It wasn't well received, so
yeah.
I'm not buying David's trailer.
Oh, thank God. I think we were all drinking, and I just looked at him and I was like, huh? I'm sorry, what?
That's an appropriate response as any.
I thought your other daughter was building a compound for you.
That's I don't know. I just go with the flow.
That's true. I have more shade, to be fair. Just slightly more shade. All right. On that note, though, everybody, thanks for listening. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level, and that be Eckhart, Rigner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thank you guys so much. Next week is the beginning of May, and yeah, should be fun. Looking forward to it. Happy birthday to Cindy. Your birthday is tomorrow or today,
birthday,
as everybody's
Cindy.
listening to this. Speaking
Happy
of, check
birthday to you.
Check out The Amazing Race with Jack and Cindy on the network. Check out the Ramblecast After Dark, and the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. The last two most recent episodes involve us talking about our Japan trip. Did I leave anything out? Thank you to the patrons that can do a certain level. That'd be Eckhart, Rigner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Wow, I am rushing through this too much. I am sorry. Thank you all, though. If you want to become a patron, patreon.com/JandJack. Yes. All right. On that note, though, any last thoughts about anything Survivor? Anything in the chat? Do you guys like Stars Rap? I love Stars Rap.
I love Star. Good TV.
I really like Star.
TV.
I think Star is great, but I am always just deeply unsettled when somebody does freestyle rap in front of me, and I
No, I think it's very impressive.
I just
I need to read from the same script over and over again every week, so I find it very impressive. Anyway, Uncle JP is going to have a lot to live up to, and I know that our JP is going to really play that nickname for all it's worth. So
well, it is interesting.
times.
It is an interesting note to put out there is that she calls him JP, and in Australia Survivor, everybody calls Jonathan JLP. So it is clearly a trend that is catching on over international waters.
I guess so. Okay, so real quick, Sherry just tuned in. She says, I have to rewind later to see the winner's picks are, but curious if we think it's going to be Joe or Ava.
Joe.
Eva.
Joe.
I think
Joe's
will
got
be
a
Joe.
Joe's got a
over
winner's
Eva.
edit. I see. It makes me nervous.
Yes, we see so much of Joe. Like, just everyone loves Joe. Everyone loves Joe. Like, they like Eva too, but like we've also seen strategic cutaways to Eva being like, yeah, I'll default to whoever Joe is going to vote for.
Yeah.
So I do think that we are being 100% set up for a Joe win. And if not a Joe win, then he's going to be our Jesse, where he's like the person that Jack goes up to at Final Five and is like, congrats on winning.
Congrats on winning $1 million. And give Jesse credit. He did not blink. Now inside he was like, asshole.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Appropriate.
To be fair, after that, he had such a great game that night.
Yeah.
I said, how does this guy lose? Well, he did.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire is how that person loses.
Well,
But I
That's
think
what
that's why
fire
that
does.
is like Jesse is a very good case why the fire thing needs to be like done. Like it was
Yeah.
fun,
Amen.
and now we've overdone it. Like 10
Just
years
go to
of
2 people.
freaking fire. Let's just go to a final 2. Like, yeah, let's see what can it hurt. What's gonna happen? We get a Tony and you situation. Like everybody was on board for Tony at that.
Yeah,
point.
that was good. We liked it. That was all right.
Yeah, like make
worked.
that number 2 pick
At
their
that point,
their
at
final
that point,
destination.
Tony should have won. at
Yeah,
that point.
exactly.
Listen, sometimes these things write themselves and they just need to let it go back to doing that. It works. It works.
Exactly. Okay. On that note, though, guys, thank you all so much. This was fun. We'll talk to you next week. I will say in 2 weeks, I have another one of those meetings, so I do have a conflict. So
Okay,
that
that's
is
not
the 14th.
finale week, right? That's the
Finale week
before
is
finale?
the 21st. If
Okay.
it was finale week, I'd literally be like, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do it. So yes, the 14th, I definitely have a conflict. Next week, I'm good, and then the finale week. So if everybody could put the 15th on their calendars right now, that'd be very helpful.
All right.
Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Okay, cool. All right. On that note, though, thanks everybody. We will see you next week. On that note, my name is Colleen.
I am Jamie.
I'm Jeff Goldblum.
Uncle JB. Uncle JG.
No, he was the fly.
He's the fly.
Life will find a way.
There it is.
My name is Colleen. Goodbye. Everybody, whatever. Okay, bye.
Later.
Yeah, peace out.